Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
You found it, folks. It's called The Local Show, if that's what you were looking for.
And if you haven't, flip the dial.
Where's Rush Limbaugh? Where's Paul Harvey? Okay, The Local Show. We'll
Those
take
two
it.
dopes? All right, fine. Whatever.
We'll settle for Tom and Steve. There we go. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. And we're also on YouTube, picking up those subscribers. If you haven't been on YouTube lately, please go over there and check out what we look like and what our guests look like. And there's some content there. And you got other content, too. We got some drone footage.
Oh,
probably.
yeah, it's all kind of. The Zoey channels, there's some interesting stuff there, some client stuff, some commercials, a bunch of things.
I was looking at a new drone with Nicholas, the boy child, and now they have the goggle set that you can put on, and then you can hold the joystick, and it's like playing the Wii.
Yeah. I was talking to someone about that this week, and I said, I don't want that, because here's what I don't want to lose my situational awareness. Someone comes up behind me, or I get hit by a truck. I want to be...
Which is precisely why I bought you a pair. So. They'll be coming this week.
That's why I love you so much. Look, a guest is here. Let's talk to him, Tom.
Let's talk to Grant Fletcher right now. He's the sales trainer, sales leader. But then I'm hearing you and Steve talk off the air. You've been promoted.
I did. Since I was in last, I got a promotion, and still within the marketing department, but I oversee everything now.
Right, for Fleet Feet.
Wow.
Fleet Feet Marketing. Yeah, there you go. So website still fleetfeet.com?
Yes, it is.
Okay, fleetfeet.com if you want to follow along. What's your story? What's your backstory? How'd you get involved with Fleet Feet?
So 2014, the furthest I had ever run was 90 feet between bases. But I had a father that was a Marine during Vietnam, and everyone used to say, well, you should do the Marine Corps Marathon in memory of your father. And I said, sure, knowing I wasn't a runner. I could say, yes, sure, I'll do that, and no one will hold me accountable.
Right.
Well, then, 2014, I'm here in Syracuse in the fundraising world, and another chapter within the agency I work for had charity bibs for it. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, now somebody's saying, put up or shut up.
Right.
I can raise $1,000 overnight. Can I become a distance runner in 7 months? Wow. So I went to Fleet Feet and went through the outfitting experience, got the shoes I needed.
So you were a customer first. Okay,
I was
keep going.
A customer first.
Nice.
And joined the distance program in July of 2014. And October of 2014, the very first race I ever ran was a full marathon, 26.2 miles.
And you made it.
I made it.
That's wonderful.
I didn't want to drive 26 miles.
Gosh.
Yeah, and
golly.
You put in so much time and effort training for the first one. I said, well, I might as well do another one. Mm-hmm. And then people started to hear about my story, and that the first race I ever ran was a full marathon. And the training program came to me and said, we're looking for coaches. Would you like to coach? And I said, sure. I ran a ropes course for a number of years. I'm good at motivating people. Mm-hmm. And started doing that. And then they came to me and said, well, you're doing so good on the volunteer side, why don't we actually pay you now to coach? And every year or so, I got more involved. I lost the position with the fundraising world, and the timing was right. Let's jump into Fleet Feet full time.
Isn't that something?
That is
one heck of a story.
So Fleet Feet, you can buy a pair of sneakers or shoes anywhere. Why Fleet Feet?
It's all about the outfitting experience. The people that wait on you aren't salespeople, they're outfitters. And even more important than being an outfitter is they're problem solvers. Took a call yesterday from a parent of a new student athlete. I was in a week ago, got my child's shoes. They've been practicing every day in them, and I don't think they're the right shoes. Come on in. Well, we've got a 60-day happy fit guarantee. We'd be happy to sit down with them. And happened to catch them when they came in. I said, well, I'm the one that talked to you on the phone. I told them, I said, 2014, the furthest I had ever run was 90 feet.
Right.
I started 30-second run, 30-second walk for 30 minutes, and I hurt every single step. Is that something that your child's experiencing? And she goes, yeah. And I said, well, so it might not be the shoes. It might be an insole. went through a lot of different things, kept the shoes, got the insoles that helped make the shoes feel better, and she was back out at practice last night.
There you go.
Wonderful, yeah. So there's so many product lines out there, so many brands, I should say, right? And, some of these brands are really expensive. I have a 16-year-old, and when you're looking at a sneaker that costs $200 or more, you wonder, is it really worth it? And I think some of the glitzy glamour brands are not worth it. What makes your brands a little better and more appropriate for people?
Because of the outfitting experience, and there are brands now that are very fashion forward.
Yes, fashion forward. There you go. Yeah.
Everyone comes in and says, I want that shoe. Well, why do you want it? Well, because the people I see at my gym are wearing it.
Right, yeah, sure.
Well, you aren't the people at the gym. You don't have their feet.
Right.
Why don't we try some different options and see what's best for you? And sometimes they walk out in that shoe. Sometimes they don't.
So it's more about the fit than the brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A combination of the fit and what you're doing in it. Because even within brands, there are shoes that are better for longer distances versus shorter distances, walking versus running.
Wouldn't you say, though, that some of those brands that you carry use better materials and, stuff like that, or not?
It's a little bit better quality product.
Quality,
yes.
yeah.
It's very similar to, you can go to a grocery store and the store brand might be that brand name that has a slight blemish in it.
Right.
We're getting grade A quality at our store.
Yeah. What I found out, Tom, in Fleet Feet is this will surprise many people, but I have very large feet.
Yes.
So I was always.
What are you, a 15?
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay.
And so what I found out was, because I was wearing 13s or 14s,
yes,
my arch was a 15.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't that my toe was hitting the end, but the arch. And when I went to something that from you guys, that was probably 4 or 5 years ago. It was a while ago. Now. It's way more comfortable. I don't get the cramping, and it's like it fit before, but it didn't fit. But I didn't know that.
The analogy I use with people is: have you ever put your hand into a mitten that's too small?
Yeah.
You immediately want it off your hand.
Yes.
Our fingers are much more sensitive than our toes. We'll stick our feet into a pair of shoes that are too short all the time.
Yeah.
And there's only about a half inch or a quarter inch difference between each half size. It's not a lot. It's just enough to allow those toes displayed just like our fingers.
Yeah. Where are the stores located?
We've got one in DeWitt over on Bridge Street, and then we have one up in Clay on Route 31 right across from Great Northern Mall.
In all your time in this industry, have you ever seen anybody with webbed feet?
I haven't seen webbed feet, no. Okay. I've seen some interesting shapes.
Yeah. I've never seen that.
Have you ever dealt with anybody as difficult as Tom?
No, never.
That's the right answer. So Bridge Street, Henry Wilson Jewelers, our friend Mattress Makers, and Charlie, right across the street from you. Yeah. So if you get off Bridge before you hit the boulevard, right there on the left.
On the left.
And when are you open?
10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 on Saturdays, and 11 to 4 on Sundays.
Is that true for both locations?
That's both locations, yes.
Okay.
Now, I would imagine that, and if you can answer this in about 20, 30 seconds, how do you balance the need for sales versus the need for customer service?
Again, if we're helping people solve problems, those sales will naturally come.
Okay, so that's kind of your philosophy.
Yes.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah, that's rare.
Yeah.
and good.
Fleetfeet.com, right?
Yes.
Fleetfeet.com, yes.
Grant Fletcher right there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Steve, that's going to wrap up the show.
There we go.
So now you can go running.
Yeah, I'm going to run a marathon next
your
week.
marathon. On behalf of the local show, Zoey Advertising, and Tom and Steve, God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day, or a little jog or run with your family members. It keeps the weight down and the mind clear. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1, and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, the iHeart Radio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising 3809.